Hello everyone. I thank you all so much for joining me. Is anyone out there? This is a live show. Hello everyone, I thank you so much for joining me. I don't know how many of you have joined yet. Okay, looks like we're almost there. Alright, I'll say this again. Hello everyone, I thank you so much for joining me. I don't know still how many of you have joined. I'll just start on with the show. So I'm here today at the studio. I'm MC KNZI, entrepreneur, marketer, PR practitioner, and media personality. And we are going to have some interesting conversations today. Before I begin, today is 8th March, the International Women's Day. I want to begin my show with full gratitude to my mother and honor every woman who has ever lived and walked this earth. To all those women who I look up to all around the world, all around me actually, are such wonderful women. My sisters, my friends, my colleagues. I say this to you, there can be none equal to you. You're greater than any man that has ever walked this earth, and greater than any man can ever dream of being. So, salute. Just believe in yourself and the rest of the world will adjust. Surprisingly, I didn't plan for this, to be a Women's Day episode. But I'm not saying this. It's not a bad thing. I'm not saying this in a bad way. I'm glad that it had to happen today. So let's start the show. So basically you may be thinking, or what we are most used to with when it comes to Facebook Live is that it is usually video. The problem I personally faced with this is really that the internet connection or the Wi-Fi that is available to me in this country does not allow me to come live on video with the expected streaming quality I prefer. Or probably I need to scale up my production budget. Or maybe both. Anyways, so I chose this. I wanted this live talk to be more of a live podcast kind of a thing. You can call it a podcast or even an online radio show, but live, where I get to interact with you, of course. A lot of us are trying to get attention. The attention of the people we seek to serve through our love, affection and care, through our products, people, or services. Although each of us may have unique motives, for that attention. However, to all of you, I must say that I'm thankful for the attention and welcoming you again. Some of you who just came in, I am actually very, very grateful. So let's get back to attention. A mother, if you think about it in this way, a mother would want the attention of her child, so that she can convey the message properly for, whatever she thinks is right for the child. A teacher would want the attention of her students so that she can have an impact on their lives, so that the messages she is conveying is properly being received. But what if, in this generation of where our attention span is less than a goldfish's now. Goldfish's attention span is about 9 seconds, and a human being's attention span now is roughly around 8 point something. At a stretch, after which we lose attention. I'm not saying this, it's in the data, so you can just go and check it out. So, you see the reality we are fighting with. I mean, you can fight it, but you can't deny it. So I think there's a lot of things involved, and because of that, it is harder now. Although I have no doubt that the messages that brands and organizations and individuals are sending out in any form, text, social media, emails, newsletters, I see new people coming in. Welcome again. Happy Women's Day. So as I was saying, it is harder now, although I have no doubt that the messages that brands and organizations and individuals are sending out in any form, text, social media, emails, newsletters, etc., are reaching more people now than ever before, undoubtedly. But the main concern here is, are those messages being received for impact? Organic, I mean. Or are we just, shoving down messages through people's throats as we may see fit? I mean, our phone numbers, email addresses, contact details are being sold at a very affordable prices now to brands and individuals. I keep getting messages from people who want to sell to me than actual people who want to communicate with me. Probably, trying to make my life a little better. See? Do you now understand the angle that I'm trying to take? You want my attention, but you don't care about what is going on in my life and not thinking twice before sending me offers to buy something that I'm totally not interested in. When that happens, probably I'm doing something and it would just be another interruption for the day. Brands just texting offers that is bothering me in meetings because probably some of them are not in my best interests. I understand you want to inform and get your clients, but the reality, it's not. It's it's all about knowing what I care about first. Now there are definitely going to be a lot of arguments, data, and reasoning, each from our own points of view and findings, really. But I'm not here to prove anyone wrong or say you did it right or you did it wrong. Neither am I an anthropologist or sociologist or psychologist that I'm, a master in understanding cultures, people, or the mind. I'm just a practitioner. I practice the art of marketing, advertising, and public relations, and finding the best way to communicate and understand its channels through traditional and digital media, and apply them, consult and when I'm consulting with my clients, and apply them accordingly. I learn from people, books, places, seminars. I apply, I fail, I fall, I learn. I do better every time and each time. But I do it keeping in mind that we are now in the year 2018. This is the future. The fourth industrial revolution is already in motion. Anybody who fails to see this and not adapt to it is going to be in a lot of trouble. For people, products, services, organizations, for-profit, non-profit, individuals, or even social entrepreneurs. You name it. I mean, it is mandatory for any industry or people with specializations. You have to keep in mind that the way we communicated 20 years back, or the psychology of how we used to communicate, we cannot attach it to new forms. We have to build and innovate according to the culture we are in right now. The forms are very fluid. We can shape them as we go. Kind of like when the Polaroid camera industry was overshadowed by the Kodak films. Does anyone remember? When we used to click photos on small rolls of films and we needed to watch them to see the pictures. Then of course came in digital. You can keep clicking, keep changing your angles. You can measure in real time how your pictures came out and delete whenever you want. And if you see it doesn't go with what you had in mind, you just delete and move on. Adapt and adopt. So our culture in communications and branding and marketing and even advertising is in that state now. Understanding that we don't want unnecessary messages that don't bring value to our lives, especially from people or brands that are just trying to sell. I'll say it again. We need to understand that we don't want unnecessary messages that don't bring value to our lives. especially from people or brands that are just trying to sell. So I guess it was meant to be a short live show, but it's the first of many. I'll leave you all to this to think and ponder upon. And I think I said a lot today already. So I'll leave you all to that, and we'll definitely get back with more from this episode in part 2, where I hope to engage with you more, go a little more in depth. It helps when we engage, and discuss a little more. It'll be nice, kind of like the musicians jamming to find the tunes for the songs. Also, many of you again are maybe thinking why I chose this form for this show, as I'm but I'm comfortable saying that this is how I wanted it to be, and we need to be fluid, as I said, in trying to understand what is going on all around us and adapt and adopt. Change is the only constant. In the meanwhile, if you have any questions, please leave your questions and comments, and I'll surely get back to you on the next podcast, the episode series. Till then, I wish you all well. Thank you for listening.